everyone, welcome to today's video where I will be demonstrating my current go-to everyday 10 to 15 minute soft glam makeup look. In the past, I've shown 5-minute real-time makeup looks where I've just done a little concealer, a little mascara, some brows. So this look is just a step up from that. It includes a little bit more foundation, powder, eyeliner, eyeshadow, but it can be achieved rather quickly, between 10 and 15 minutes. It might take me a little bit longer to do that in this video because I do want to explain as I go, but in reality, when I'm just sitting at my vanity applying this look, I can get it done in 15 minutes or less. This video is in partnership with Nordstrom. All of the products you see here can be found on Nordstrom.com. I have been shopping at Nordstrom way more than I probably should have in the last year, but they just have the best selection of products. They have the best customer service. I have used their buy online, pick up in store more times than I care to admit, but they just make it so easy and they're always just so helpful. So if you'd like to see how I go from this to this, then please keep on watching. Okay, people always ask me to include skincare in these videos, and I completely forgot to show myself applying what I use. But I will tell you, I used the Elemis Pro Collagen Marine Cream, and then I used this Murad Vita-C Eyes Dark Circle Corrector under my eyes. Oh, I almost forgot to mention that every product that I am using in this video is long wearing. I am using the most long-wearing, transfer-proof products that I own. And I'm starting off with a little eyeshadow primer. This is the NARS Pro Prime. And I'm applying that all over my lids. For primer, I'm going to use the Hourglas Veil. And I'm just quickly using my fingers and putting this all over. This primer helps to control my oil. It doesn't necessarily hold the makeup on longer, but it's actually not even necessary for it to hold the makeup on longer because I'm using, as I said, a long-wearing foundation, which is the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I meant to use a self-tanner last night, but I didn't. So I'm gonna mix two colors. Tawny, which is the color I use when I am self-tanned, and I am going to add in a little bit of 2N2 Buff, which is the shade that I use when I am pale. So I'm going to mix the two together, and hopefully this is not too dark. It's a little too dark, so I'm going to add more Buff. And I am blending it out. And if you want things to go even quicker, you can use your fingers. You never see anyone applying foundation with their fingers anymore. And there's nothing wrong with using your fingers. The heat from your hands, your body heat, will actually help the foundation to really mesh in or meld in. What's the right word here? It just makes the foundation look more like skin. And actually, Francois NARS, the creator of NARS Cosmetics, always used to say that his favorite makeup tool was his fingers. In fact, I'm going to use my fingers to blend in my concealer. This one is from Chanel, and I just take about that much, and I do one eye at a time. I don't like to do both eyes at a time because some concealers dry pretty quickly. So by the time you're done blending out the first eye, even if it's just a few seconds and you go to the second eye, it's harder to blend. So I just use my finger and really push the concealer into the skin. And to set everything, I'm using this loose powder from Chantecaille. It is a talc-free powder, and it gives my skin a very flawless, smooth look. And lately what I've been doing on top of my foundation, because it is so matte and I do want a little bit of a glow, I've been reaching for my Hollywood Flawless filter from Charlotte Tilbury. And I use the shade 3, and the Hollywood Flawless Filter has many uses. You can mix it into your foundation. I have very oily skin, so when I mix the two together, I'm a little bit too glowy, but I do like to put a little bit on the tops of my cheekbones, as you'll see right now. And I believe there is now a shade extension of this product. It comes in half shades now, I believe. Or it will soon. Do you see how it just gives a little bit of a glow? And because I pretty much only use it for this purpose, one bottle is going to last me forever. I feel like this gives the illusion of higher cheekbones. This base portion, the foundation, powder, concealer, that takes me the longest. My brows also take a little bit more time than they might for someone else who doesn't have such thin, sparse brows and who isn't as fanatical about their brows as I am. So I am going to speed this portion up. I am using my go-to Hourglas Arch Brow in Platinum Blonde, but if you already have nice full brows, you might just need to use a little brow gel or maybe just a little dusting of brow powder. I kind of have to create my brows, so I'm gonna speed it up. And then I just use a little brow gel to set them. Now we're going to basically fly through the rest of this makeup application because I am using one of my favorite palettes of all time, definitely one of my favorite Charlotte Tilbury palettes of all time. This is the Stoned Rose Instant Look in a palette. And by instant look, they aren't kidding. You can do an entire beautiful makeup look, minus the lips, with just one palette. And because I know someone's gonna ask, I would have to say my next favorite Charlotte Tilbury palette would be this palette from the holiday collection. This is called the Bejewelled Eyes to Hypnotise. This is such a beautiful palette and you can do so many beautiful eye looks with it. But for a quick everyday look, you've gotta get an instant look in a palette. So I start off by taking the bronzer shade and just lightly putting that under my cheekbones, on my forehead. And then I run a little bit down the sides of my nose. I always have to be careful doing this portion on video because it always seems way more dramatic on camera than it does in person. And to do my eyes, I'm using the brushes in the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Mini Brush Set. So taking the crease brush, I'm going into the Brighten shade, and I'm applying that on the inner corners of my eyes and up to my brow. This does give an instant brightening effect. And then using the same brush, I'm going into the Enhance shade and I'm putting that on the outer corners and then blending it into my crease. You don't want to cover all of that first shade that you applied. I would say that the first color is about a third of the way onto my eye, and then this Enhance shade is the other 2/3. And then there are two smudger brushes in this set. One is bigger and one is smaller. I'm going to take the bigger one and I'm going to go into the Smoke shade and apply that to the outer corners of my eye, just to give the outer corners a little lift. And now I'm using this eye pencil also from Charlotte Tilbury. It is called the Eye Color Magic Liner Duo. This is Copper Charge, and I'm using the matte side to line my upper and lower lash lines. And then I'm taking the tiny smudger brush from the set and smudging out the pencil. And now I'm going to curl my lashes and apply some mascara. For my mascara, I'm using the Climax Extreme from NARS. And now I'm taking the little blush brush from the set, and I just dip my brush into both of the cheek colors. One's a little bit darker than the other, one is more matte, the other has a little bit of a sheen to it. And I just apply that to the apples of my cheeks. And I think this color is so pretty. It really brightens up my face. And then this Instant Look in a palette also comes with a gorgeous highlighter. So if I want to be a little bit extra, I just go into that and pop that on top if I want more of a glow than what I got even from the Hollywood Flawless filter. Most days this is enough, but I'm demonstrating the palette, so why not? And I'm also dabbing a little bit on my tear ducts. And for my lips, I want something that is long wearing and transfer proof. So I reach for my Holy Grail Chanel Ultra Tenue Duo Lipstick Gloss. And the shade I'm using today is called Intense Caramel. I do want to even out my lips with a little lip liner, so I'm using MAC's Stripdown. Now, once this lip product sets, it does not come off at all. There is a gloss on the other side to keep your lips looking more hydrated. Obviously, you don't have to use that. I am going to use just a little bit. And then before I go and fix my hair and get dressed, I always spray my face down with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This is what locks it all down. Everything, as I said, is long wearing, but this makes it virtually life proof. I would go so far as to say that this product was the MVP of 2020 for me. Okay, I really hope you all enjoyed this tutorial for my current go-to everyday soft glam natural-ish 10 to 15 minute makeup look. As I mentioned earlier, all of the products will be listed and linked in the description box. If you're on your mobile, you will have to hit that little down arrow that's near the title to access the description box. I'm asked quite a bit how to access the description box, so I thought I would throw that in there. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button and become part of the Risa Does Makeup family. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and I also have a TikTok account, although I'm not very active on it. I'm still learning how to use it, but the username is the same there as well, Risa Does Makeup. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in my next video.